Hello guys and welcome to our channel. This is Baby Roll. In today's video we'll be talking about the three main build I'm using all the time for Ranger. So I have a main build that's constantly the most important one for me, and it is a healing condition immobilized druid. And I also have a celestial SoulBeast, which is the one you're watching right now, that count a lot on dishing huge amount of damage through power and condition. And also a celestial hybrid druid that use longbow and really good for kiting and even easier to fill celestial avatar for, so it's really optimal for survivability. And as you see, there is specific characteristics for each build. If you want the high survivability, the hybrid druid is, and it will have bigger range, easier access to mobility, easier access to celestial avatar, even more stealth and stuff like that. And if you want something to have constant, really good damage and control over the fight, optimized for longer fights, it is my main druid build, which use a trailblazer apothecary mix. And the last one is a celestial SoulBeast, which is a hybrid that do high damage in both power and condition, but not insanely high like a second SoulBeast for power, for example, or for condition SoulBeast. So each build has their own problems. If you're fighting opponents like those two scourges that can do a huge amount of barrier, which will tank both condition and power for them, and also have huge amount of condition cleanses, turning even condition to boons sometimes, or even ripping boons from you or corrupting them and giving your condition back, zeroing your rotation and get your skills, most of them ineffective. And they're also already tanky because you use something like trailblazer, which mean they have huge health balls and also huge toughness. So the power is mostly nullified and extremely reduced, and also the condition rendered ineffective a lot of the time. So that's why Necromancer, for example, one of the worst enemies for such a build for SoulBeast. And that means fight with them will always be long. Even if you're running a power build, they can be extremely tanky if played well, which means you're gonna need longer time than normal, than like to kill a thief, to kill a scourge, or to kill a core Necromancer. So they are tanky whether they're facing power or condition, and that means even having lower damage in power and condition makes the fight even more annoying and harder to win. So my main druid build can adapt to a situation like this amazingly because it is designed for longer fights and even outnumber situation. It is probably the best in a fight like this. As long as the enemy doesn't do insane amount of CC or damage, you're really optimized to fight even multiple opponents. And if I don't care about boons also, so corrupting stability and stuff like that, nothing like this matter. And even if they give me my condition back, I'm not ruining my rotation or hurting myself by trying to cleanse or over cleanse, and I can even control their position through a lot of immobilization. And that's why fighting them on a druid is incredibly easier than fighting on a SoulBeast, which basically started feeling impossible to kill two scourges that's actually playing really well. But the druid can lock them and follow up with a lot of CC and overwhelm them with condition, as you see here. I'm locking him that he's not doing much of any skills, blinding him, dazing him, and at some point he doesn't have enough cleanses because even my cooldowns are a bit shorter and I can adapt more than a scourge. In the next fight, it's the exact opposite. I'm starting on a druid versus a tanky scrubber, basically supporty ones that can cleanse a lot and turn condition to boons and stuff like that, and can even shut me down with a bubble and have huge amount of stability, which I count on CCing others, not like SoulBeast to trigger the Ancient Seed, while SoulBeast gets its damage from something like One Wolf back or repetitive condition applications from other skills and stuff like that. And he joined by a Daredevil, so right now I make a mistake which I keep switching target, so I'll not be really stuck with one. The Scrubber would shut me down with his bubble, with stability, reflect, blocks, and I want to kill the Daredevil because I'm afraid he would be having it free and doing a lot of burst and backstabs. So even I realize that he doesn't have this much damage, but even when I try to hit him, he simply disengage or get cleansed or supported by the Scrubber, and even if he go down, there is a possibility that Scrubber will succeed in reviving him, since because of the stability and the bubble, I will not be able to do much to finish the Daredevil, and they are really difficult to finish anyway. So cleaving them down with condition against the Scrubber would cleanse them, would even make it a bit difficult. So right now they disengage, they are a little bit afraid of the fight, so I go to the camp trying to get supply as fast as possible to build my catapult. Hopefully they won't notice, and the moment they come back I'll be already having the catapult up, which successfully actually will land through, They ran towards the tower, and at the moment they're trying to come back, I was already at the catapult again. So I noticed that Daredevil count me, so I moved to SoulBeast to kill him fast to protect the catapult, and I land a huge burst on him, and he couldn't react much. He probably tried to either save his condition cleanse or already was sitting up and didn't have much to do, and bursted him down incredibly easier than before. And this is where SoulBeast actually shine. That damage, especially in a 1v1. I go back to Druid, afraid that he will overwhelm my cooldowns, and then, no, it's a 1v1, so I went again with the SoulBeast. Hopefully it will have enough damage to go past his entire defenses, and I can protect the catapult easier and for a longer time. So I burned a lot of my cooldown, basically the whole burst technically. That's for... I wanted to overwhelm his cooldown, hopefully he doesn't have enough burst to affect me, but I realized after that his damage is incredibly low. So right now it's a battle between cooldowns. When my cooldowns will come, I would have really high burst, and he would have to again burn a lot of cooldown for it, and if I can lock him with CC and he doesn't have much more to do, it will be over. And even if he can survive for some extended periods, because of that, again, I will always have enough damage to go through such defenses. It's not easy to hit stalemate on a SoulBeast. It's easier to die because you made mistakes, and much easier than to actually hit a stalemate. It's either you'll die or your enemy will die, most of the time. And it worked, and he already gone also. And for the last fight, I'm gonna be fighting the same guy, a Condition Mirage, on both Druid and SoulBeast to show the difference in survivability and also how fast you can achieve a kill on SoulBeast. And as a conclusion, most of the time you will be better off with Druid if it's not just about achieving a kill, if you want to survive, if fight outnumber more. If I would choose one build, obviously it's always been my main Druid, not only because it's fun, it's also effective. But for SoulBeast, it can be good with other players, it can be good for 1v1s and stuff like that. If it really played well, it can pay off incredibly good. I'm going to leave you with the fight, and don't forget to subscribe. I might even do another one on the hybrid as a comparison also in the situation when it is mostly needed. I'm not sure yet, but that's it. I'll be seeing you next time. Peace.